know what? If you take just a very small amount of non-methylated mercury, your body will not interact with it anyway. You'll pass it out the other end and nothing, no story. Here's the detail I was trying to highlight about pesticides. We know that pesticides are toxic. They're a poison. That's why you use them. The name is kill stuff. You know, like homicide is killing a human. Pesticide is killing pests. We know they're toxic. And you can look on the bottle. It says, do not ingest. If you just drink the pesticide, you died. That being said, when you eat food that was grown using pesticides sometime in its life, by the time it reaches you, there is no scientific evidence that the amount of pesticide you get from that food is above a toxicity threshold. Look, I gotta walk a really fine line. As a teacher, you guys understand, I can't teach my opinion. You wanna know what my actual opinion is? Like Jose's gut feeling? My deeply held belief? I think all the chemicals that come close to or on top of or inside your body are probably bad for you in the whole. Probably. Overall, we evolved on a planet that was very chemically simple. And our bodies are not built to defend themselves against the variety of chemicals that assault you daily. So my gut feeling, not science, not apes, Jose's gut, is that, hey, you know, I think most of our chemistry is probably bad for us. Probably. Most of it. But the amount of pesticide you get when you buy a conventional tomato is far below that threshold where we can say it's dangerous for you. It's almost impossible to study the cumulative effect of your lifelong dosage. That might be bad for you, but we've never proven that.
It's hard to say that you know that it doesn't.
That's right. That's right. I'm not saying that pesticide is totally safe, that conventional foods are good for you. I'm also saying that there is no scientific consensus about them being bad for you either. Their cumulative effect, probably, but no proof yet. Their synergistic effect, how all these different ingredients play together inside your body, probably also bad for you, but again, no scientific proof yet. It took like 60 years to prove that cigarettes cause cancer. When we stick to purely clear scientific understanding, we cannot say that conventionally produced fruits and vegetables are unhealthy for you. I hope you understand this is a careful and delicate distinction to make. Pesticide out of the bottle will kill you quick, that's the point. Pesticides in ecosystems, in surface water, in groundwater, in the runoff, ecologically speaking, for the farm workers, for the neighbors that get to breathe the dose cloud, all known to be very, very bad, scientifically well understood. But the amount that reaches you after the fruit's been prepared, packaged, washed again, washed, cooked, chopped up, and eaten, as far as we currently know, there is no peer-reviewed scientific journal which has said that that type of a diet is unhealthy. Sooner or later, my gut feeling is science will catch up and probably say that it's less healthy. That's just my gut feeling. But you know, I got to prepare you for the AP test. And when you're writing about the AP test, they'll ask you about the science, not Jose's gut feeling. You could say scientifically, we don't have any reason to believe that this is bad. Jose's gut feeling is different, but whatever, because it's an AP science. And so the scientific evidence for this is actually very limited, to say the least. And there is no real conclusive evidence that a diet made with conventional vegetables is unhealthy. this more, or have I cleared up what I was trying to say yesterday? That's not an answer. Anybody else feedback on this? I don't want to take sides in a loaded topic. I also don't want to confuse anyone.
I think it's pretty clear.
Okay. Remember that thing about dosage? Oh! Crazy thing about dosage. Do you guys realize that you can kill yourself with too much water?
Yeah, dude. Water intoxication.
Yeah, that lady got the electrolyte chaos, and then all of a sudden the cellular communication breaks down because the ion transfer between the cells is into something funny.
There was a water drinking contest on a radio station.
That's what I'm talking about, that lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. She drank something like, what was that, 22 liters of water in 6 minutes or something? I don't even know what the number was. Don't quote me on that number, I'm probably wrong again. But, well, I mean, that's the whole point, that your body can have too much of anything. But it's all about dosage. That doesn't mean that we freak out and tell kids not to drink water. The point is that we have to understand that dosage makes a difference. A high enough dose of water will kill you. A high dose of anything will kill you. But how much dosage of pesticide do you get in a conventional diet? Apparently that net dosage is below the toxicity threshold for those pesticides. Let's not forget, we've been running this experiment for something like 70 or 80 years with the majority of the world's population. It's not like absolutely deadly, we would have noticed. Anybody else want to talk more about this? Okay. Number 33. I'd like to review to make sure that we all got the same information out of that movie yesterday. Is the movie pretty much done now? Anybody know where we left off? A minute or so. I think we can shine it, right? The last minute was mostly a review of the movie, so... I want to talk about number 33 to make sure that everybody got the same details on the left and on the right. In number 33, remember that my hope is you will build a continuing comparison between large-scale, modern, industrial, conventional agriculture on one side, the left, and more sustainable, what we might call traditional old-school methods, small-scale methods, non-industrialized agriculture on the right. For the ease of conversation, I've called these big ag and hippie food. Neither of these is technical terminology. All right. Big agriculture terms. What did you pull out of that movie on the left side? Monoculture, absolutely. What else? Yeah?
Pesticides.
Pesticides, what else?
Environmentally unfriendly. Chemicals.
I want to be more specific than that, because environmentally unfriendly may or may not be accurate, but there's probably an argument to be made on both sides for that term. So, yeah.
They didn't use crop rotation, right?
Yeah, we call it monoculture.
Oh, that is, okay. So.
Yeah. What else? Yeah. Erosion. Thanks for mentioning that. That's a huge problem. Yes?
Pest reassurance?
Pest resurgence. Let's leave that as a sub-issue underneath pesticides. Because when we talk about pesticides, there will be many details about pesticide use that are bad. I'm just trying to clump together the right lingo. Yeah?
Wait, doesn't resurgence have to do with crop rotation?
Well, the reason that I asked him to leave resurgence underneath pesticide is it is an issue with pesticide usage, And you're right, crop rotation is one way to address resurgence, but now we're getting into details within the detail, and I want to step back to get the concepts organized in the right category.
Overgrazing?
Yeah, sure, we could say aggressive grazing, and that might be an issue underneath erosion. Let's put that under erosion. So we could say overgrazing. Anybody else? Yes.
Seems like a potential issue is the use of fertilizer to refill the land with nutrients.
Yeah, so fertilizer, chemical fertilizers in particular, synthetic fertilizers in particular, are a characteristic of large-scale agriculture. I have that on my list. Water pollution from pesticide and fertilizer, sure. But I gotta be clear about something. A totally hippie-friendly farm, on the other end, can still produce a variety of water pollutants too. So that's not necessarily a dichotomy between this type of farming and the other. It's an unfortunate side effect of farming in general. And so is water usage. Both of those are issues with agriculture, but not necessarily these guys do it, those guys don't.
Demand based.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Let's leave that as an issue under pesticides too. This can be controlled with protective clothing and other precautions that can be avoided. It's not I don't think there's evidence that conventional farmers die faster than organic farmers. I think it's just a pesticide management issue about farmer welfare. Yeah. Yeah, so desertification is one consequence of erosion. And that's in general for all sorts of erosion. Okay. That can also go with overgrazing. Desertification. Thank you for that list. I hope that everybody else had all of those. Now on the opposite side, I'd like to look at the alternatives to each of the things we listed on the left. So, alternatives to pesticides. So now I'm hearing some stuff. One thing was crop rotation. Who said that? Crop rotation is one possibility. Biological control, also beneficial insects.
Natural fertilizer.
Pesticide and fertilizer are separate chemistries. Pesticide is a way to kill bugs. Fertilizer is a way to make plants grow faster. We'll talk about natural fertilizer when we're talking about fertilizer. But other ways to handle the bug problem.
I just have a question. Is diversification the same thing as crop rotation?
Not exactly, but they're both parts of the same idea and they usually have the same benefit. Rotation is how you change the things you grow in different seasons, or the spots where you grow each of your seasonal crops. So you're either going to take your 4 crops and move them to another spot, then move them to another spot, so that you're not growing the same thing on the same spot. You can either diversify, or you can use a calendar to rotate crops. Usually, right, in long-term rotations, there's usually a rest for the soil as well, a non-productive period. Yeah?
For the bug problem, you can use other species.
Beneficial insects?
Yeah.
Yep. So she also has much diversification. So, alternatives to pesticides that I've heard from you so far. Diversification.